Women always asking questions on the internet. Where are all the good men? Why do men do this? Why don't men like that? We answer all the time. They just never listen.
All right, we're back with another round of questions, this time from a very nice young lady. And I have to be honest, I think this one is genuinely asking and listening to the answers, though,
okay.
As is almost always
That's a rare one.
case, her questions show once again the inherent toxicity towards men that defines today's women. Anyway, let's roll.
Okay, stop scrolling if you're a boy.
Okay, well, I'm actually a man, so do I count? I guess I'm just going to have to assume so. Besides, I speak to hundreds of men and boys every week, so I think I have a pretty damn good idea of how they think and feel.
So obviously I'm a girl, and today I would like to ask you questions that I have about you boys.
Okay, sounds
Just imagine you boys.
good, but again, as I've said many times before, I'm not going to sugarcoat my answers. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear.
I mean, off the rip, they already start calling us boys. It's already a derogatory way to try to call men.
Not what you want to hear, which most likely is going to piss you off. So if you can't handle the truth, well,
Get out of
maybe
the
you
kitchen.
should go watch an episode of Virgin River instead.
Number one, how often do you actually cry? Because I feel like I ask
Actually, more often than I would like to admit. Again, I tell you guys, there's times where I just wake up in tears because of the dreams or whatever it is. Mostly about mother and stuff like that. But in public, fuck no.
guys all the time, like, oh, when was the last time you cried? And they're like 5 years ago when my aunt died.
Ugh, not this one again.
Oh, okay. So then, like 3 years ago, when mother passed.
Good Lord, we've already told you the answer to this time and time again. Of course we cry. Hell,
Yeah.
I had tears in my eyes just this past weekend watching Saving Private Ryan for the umpteenth millionth time. That scene at the end gets me.
Watching Up, like the beginning of Up, that tears me up a lot sometimes. You know, when I first watched it after mother passed, and I was just like, man, I wish we had this little story in the beginning.
Me every single time. So yeah, we men cry. Oh, not as much as you, to be sure.
No way.
But a lot more often than you might think.
Agreed.
We just don't do it in front of you because we know if we make that mistake, you're going to go on the attack. You're going to weaponize it. You're going to lose all respect for us.
Again, I tell you guys the one story, and I'm gonna tell that story again because it was such a obvious story that belongs into this. I went to watch The Flash. The Flash is a very emotional story about a mother. About letting a mother die. Mother just passed maybe a year ago, and then I watched the movie, teared up. The girl I took to the movie was like, "Oh, I thought you said you never cry." I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, and it's like, oh, and I was like, it's not like I shared a moment that I made feel. I just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a bit away about my mother. It's like I just like some emotions. That's all I said, right? Which I thought, hey, you know what? She might understand because it's been a year. It's like it was the year anniversary of mom's, so I was just like kind of in my mood right there, and so I was just kind of gave it to her or told her I was feeling away about my mother, and then boom, that comes up, automatically attacks me and mom. They just can't help themselves.
You're going to give us the crazy eyes like you just did in your video. Ah, yes, the eyes. They always tell the whole story, don't they? Anyway.
I literally cried today because I heard a sad country song.
Okay, and I mean this with
Man.
all due respect. Who cares?
All
I mean,
right.
seriously,
What?
who cares? Do you think that makes you something special? Good Lord.
She does. She thinks that makes her better than us.
The shit they tell themselves to feel strong and independent.
Is that true, or do you guys just not want to admit that you cried more recently? Or do you feel like you just aren't allowed to cry?
We have a winner. She just said the quiet part out loud because, yes, we men aren't allowed to cry because we know what will happen if we do. just as I mentioned earlier.
That leads me to my second question. I see a lot of people talk about toxic masculinity, where if you don't know what I'm talking about, the definition basically means that there are like societal norms that men fit into that can harm their mental health.
That's what toxic masculinity is. It isn't men being extra toxic with their masculinity. Like, it's just that, really?
Oh, is that what it means? Is that what the definition is? And who decided that?
Right?
Who even decided you and your girlies get to define what toxic masculinity means, or if it even exists? Sorry, darling, but you don't. And besides, that definition changes more than the weight number you claimed to scale with this morning. So give us a break already. The true
She is a bit of a torta.
definition of toxic masculinity is anything that a woman can blame a man for in order to avoid taking accountability or responsibility for anything they've done or women in general have done.
Agreed.
Nothing more,
Mic
nothing
drop.
less.
And I feel like girls always talk about it, but they're not the ones experiencing it. So I wanted to get like a firsthand account. Do you guys actually experience that? Or do you think it's like overhyped and guys are just the way they are?
All right, let me tell you what it really is, darling, and you might want to sit down because this one is sure to piss you off. The whole toxic masculinity argument is, in fact, nothing more than an excuse to justify what is, in fact, feminine toxicity.
You're just labeling everything that men do that is masculine as toxic.
And the built-in hatred that defines you and all women today. And you can keep trying to put lipstick on that pig all you want, but
Still
it's
a swine.
still a pig. That's all it is. It's all it ever will be. Pure projection. Projection of what women are guilty of onto men.
All the time.
And yes, we do experience feminine toxicity.
Sure.
24/7, 365, from the day we're born till the day we die. And yes, it is indeed all men who experience it.
Number 3, when you guys say all girls are the same, is it just a saying that expresses your frustration? Or do you actually believe that every single girl, or at least girl,
We can't just generalize anymore. Again, like the ability to generalize has just gone out the window with the younger generation.
our age is the same? And that they all have the same intentions?
Well, I hate to generalize, but since women have generalized men, the whole it's all men argument for decades now, turnabout is fair play. So, yes, at this point, it is fair to say it's every girl your age, or really any age. You're all toxic, you're all delusional, and have completely unrealistic demands and expectations.
Very few that don't, and the few that really don't, in mass, are not going to be here in the United States. Just saying. If you can find one in the United States, great. Find a nice career, nice area to like start, finding women that are within your own echelon of, what do you call it? Status.
You all live in fantasy, not reality, and collectively think every single one of you is a perfect 10 when you're in fact anything but. You all spew venom, toxicity, and hate towards men all day, every day, then can't fathom why men don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Well, because they dumb.
That's the reality, as anyone who spends even 5 seconds on social media knows. Now, to be fair, are there a few women who don't do that?
Sure.
Absolutely. Sure thing. But guess what? Those that aren't almost always eventually will be once their sad, lonely, bitter friends get in their ear trying to convince them that their husband or boyfriend or the man they're with is a vile, contemptible abuser who doesn't do anything.
And it happens more often than not. How many divorces out there are actual divorces because other people are in that woman's ear telling her she can do better?
And once that starts happening, it will continue without relent until she leaves him. And that's what goes on, which is why even the good ones eventually become sad, bitter, and lonely, just like all the rest. That is the reality. You know it, I know it, We all know it. The difference is we men acknowledge it, and women never will.
Okay, so please somebody duet this, comment anything, and answer my questions. And I'm gonna make a part 2 of this because I have a lot more.
Well, something tells me you aren't going to make a part
Nope.
2 once you start reading the answers to the questions that you got on that video. But hey, if you do, I'll be back to answer them. So until then, ta-ta for now, and best.
Shout outs to A Man Need to Be Heard. I forgot his real name, but the gentleman is doing God's work. You guys say I do God's work. I think this gentleman has a lot better frame and a lot better experience than this guy over here. So I think he just has much better advice overall. I love watching his videos. Go and give the man some subs. Go give the man some support. I'll catch you guys later. Ciao. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that.